G'day everyone, welcome to another episode of the Weekly Bees, and we've got a whole host of different questions this year, and for this one here, it's kind of focusing on the leader itself and how can they manage their performance as an individual. For this one, we're looking at how do leaders stay intellectually humble as their influence grows. So I've got a few notes here. I think this really comes to that point of what we call the expert trap. As your title and influence or your role grows within an organization, people, by virtue of that and by virtue of the hierarchy that you actually sit within, people stop telling you no, or people don't maybe share as much with you. And that's a psychological safety type of issue there as well, but it comes down to the leader and how you display your openness as well. But there's a couple of things you can do in terms of how do you stay intellectually humble. One, just check the room temperature. Make sure that when you walk into a meeting, just don't come in with all the answers straight away. Allow room for people to explore, and maybe think of yourself as, instead of the chief executive officer, maybe the chief question officer, or rather than the chief answer officer. I always have seen great senior executives are people who just always ask fantastic questions. The next one is the feedback loop. I mean, this is really important. I think it's quite good when you get into these roles, it can be quite lonely, that you set yourself up a peer group or get involved in a peer group, which is kind of like a challenge network where people aren't afraid to say, no, that's crazy, or have you thought about this? The other one is admitting ignorance. I think that's a really good one. Maybe don't say, I don't know, but it could be, that's an interesting point. Let's explore that a little bit more. Can you give me some more information? And I think the final area is, I always ask people and senior executives, what are you going to do when you grow up? And they always laugh at me and like, I am. But always try and do something which is challenging your brain on something brand new. Could be a hobby, could be something else, maybe some charity work. I went and did some coppicing the other day in a forest, which I knew nothing about. Anyway, that's how you can look at staying intellectually humble as a leader. And if you do these types of things, it will just make you more approachable as well. Would love to hear your comments. Put them down below. Pick up the phone. Let's have a chat. See you next time on the Weekly Bees.